Hello everyone, I am Sai Nandan Reddy, the founder and director of INITIATIC School. I welcome you all today. Today we will learn from the book Dynamics of the Soul. It's a wonderful book authored by Master Torquem Seredarian. In this book we could understand about the soul and the way it operates using the various bodies. It's a fantastic book. We will learn from the second chapter of this book. I'll read line by line so that we can understand. Before we start this particular chapter, we should first have a basic idea of our individual bodies and the soul. Please consider this diagram. You find the physical etheric system here. This is a physical body and this is the etheric body. Etheric body is the energy component of the physical body. And here is the emotional body, which is responsible for our emotions. This is the mind or the mental body. And this is our intuitional body or buddhic body. And then we find atmic, monadic and divine bodies. So, in this particular mental body, we have two sections, that is lower mental plane and higher mental plane. Right? Yes. So, this is the basic information which you should remember, and this is sufficient for us to start with this topic. The soul, the human soul, starts from the lowest level at the beginning and climbs up. The human soul is identified at first with his body. When you ask somebody, "Who are you?" the answer is, "I am this, I am that." That person is identified with his body and with everything that he does at this level to support his body. He is a body conscious soul but is not yet called a soul. Millions of people in the world are at this level and they are nothing but bodies. So, I have to clear one more point here. When I say human soul, I am referring to the spark within us which is taking millions of births right from the mineral kingdom. The human soul has evolved into the plant kingdom and then the animal kingdom and then the human kingdom. So, the spark or the human soul is gaining experiences as it travels through various bodies until right now it is in the human body. Yes, and there is another soul which is called as soul with a capital S. Soul with a capital S. That means the Guru within us. It is also called as solar angel. The Guru within us or the solar angel is called as soul with a capital S. And when I say the spark, which is same as the human soul, which is we, as we go through various experiences via incarnating into various bodies. Okay. Now in the first chapter, we could understand that most of the humanity is in the physical body. That means when you ask them who are you, they talk about I am this body, and when you ask about how much time do you spare for your body requirements, they will say that mostly 90% of the time, because much of their actions are related to food, shelter, clothing, financial things, all these aspects. These are physical materialistic aspects which are related to body, physical body. But yes, there are other things too a person thinks about, such as friendship, love, compassion, divinity, etc. But the time to which we allocate to this particular things is very less when compared to that of the physical materialistic aspects. So we can understand that soul, or the human soul, has more physical materialistic consciousness. This is because the human soul, as we have already discussed, is gaining experiences from material kingdom to the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom, and now it is in the human kingdom. Within the human kingdom, it will obviously have more experiences. More strongly, the human soul will be attached to the physical system because of its past animalistic natures. So, a lot percent of humanity is in this particular segment, that is having the consciousness which is more attached to the materialistic body. Let us proceed. When the soul progresses, man approaches the level we call emotional consciousness. First, he is identified with his physical nature. Then he starts to identify with his emotions. He is now his emotions more than he is his physical body. He is mostly emotional mixed with physical. The person lives in these two levels with all the millions of others who are physical bodies and emotional beings. Now the question is, the human soul, after having lot of physical materialistic experiences, it obviously goes to the next level of experiences, and that is emotional experiences. Now the human soul is not only the physical body, but it also identifies with the emotional nature. So now it is both the physical as well as the emotional. Initially it was only physical. So a person who is only physical body oriented, or a human soul which identifies itself with only the physical body, that person doesn't see things which are related to love, friendship, compassion, etc. He is only driven by the materialistic physical aspects. Now, when the human soul comes to the next level, it rises its consciousness from the material level to the emotional level. Then it starts feeling emotions of people and also itself. So now he is both. He is physical as well as emotional. His consciousness is now sensitive to emotional aspect of his. When people are in the physical body, they are just like cattle and they do not have many problems. But when they enter into the area of emotions, their problems start, because on this level they mix with the emotions of others, with family, group, national and international emotions. All of the problems that are going on in the world are built by emotions. So at this level, human soul, when it is only physical oriented, it doesn't have much troubles, because if it has materialistic things, then it is satisfied. But now, because the human soul is identified and is sensitive to the emotional aspect of itself and also others, it has to adjust and understand the emotional aspects too. So if you see the humanity, you could easily identify people getting very emotional. It is very easy for the politicians or advertising agencies to make people listen to them or buy their products easily, because they use emotional aspects. If you see any product which is being advertised, most of the products, you see relationships and things which are related to sexuality. For example, any product which you take, you will see a woman advertising it in a sexual manner, even though that product has nothing to do with that. It can be a car advertisement. You see on a hoarding while you are commuting on the road, you see a woman with the car. So what is the reason behind it? See, advertisements, the agencies know pretty well that if they could associate the car with the status and with the sexuality, then they are indirectly hitting the sexual aspect within a person and the status aspect within a person. That means emotional aspects within a person. So it is very easy to trigger people in these two aspects. So most of the humanity is at this level. Often people pretend they are fighting for principles, ideas, visions, and so on. But in reality, they are involved with their emotions and they are trying to satisfy their hatred, jealousy, anger, revenge, or fear. It often happens that by involving themselves with negative or positive emotions, they slowly shift their consciousness from the physical to the emotional plane. So, people, when they talk about things, when they argue about things, when they fight about issues, it is mostly because of their emotions. It is mostly because of their hatred, jealousy, anger, revenge, or fear. Their argument, their talking, their discussions are based on these things. If you can see behind what they are talking, They may seem to talk logical at first, but they are being triggered by fear or anger or jealousy. This is very subtle. If things go well, meaning that the person is going through many emotional troubles, he starts to awaken and think about the cause of his troubles and about the cause of his emotions, and he slowly begins to operate in the lower mental plane. Most of the time, our crisis, troubles, hindrances and obstacles force us to awaken and travel from the astral or emotional plane to the lower mental plane to find out the causes of our physical and emotional troubles. So here we could understand that when a person has these emotional issues, when he's trying to understand the emotions and the causes of it, then he starts thinking about the solution, probable solution. Then at this level, the human soul is entering into lower mental plane. That is, from here, the human soul is entering into this segment. When I say the human soul is entering, I am saying the consciousness of the human soul has expanded a bit, and that consciousness is at this level. So, whenever or whatever you are conscious about, you will get information about that particular aspect or information at that particular level. So, when the consciousness of the human soul has expanded from emotions to the lower mental level, it will now get ideas or thoughts which are related to lower mental level. Actually, the human soul is trying to solve its problems. This is because the human soul is finding some crisis, troubles, hindrances and obstacles. So this makes the human soul think about its solutions. The soul is that which progresses from the physical to the emotional, and then from the emotional to the mental plane. While he is in the mental plane, if a person is lucky, he will find a teacher, find a teaching, or find the books, the religion or philosophy that will tell him that the causes of his physical, emotional and mental troubles lie within himself. And when he starts to look within, he finds ideas and visions to use for his future development, and he progresses to the higher mental plane. When the person succeeds in reaching the higher mind, we say that he or she has become a soul. This is very important. When the human soul at this level, that means lower mental plane, is trying to find solutions, then the human soul may find a teaching, a teacher, some guidance, some books or any teaching which could help the human soul rise its consciousness to the next level, and that is to the higher mental plane. When the consciousness of the human soul rises to the higher mental plane, then we could consider that the human soul has now become the human soul. So don't get confused when I say the human soul has now become the human soul. What I mean is, the human soul is actually gaining experiences from the mineral and then the plant, animal and human. And within the human, it identifies with the human physical body first. It doesn't know that it is the human soul. It thinks that it is a physical body. And then it identifies with the emotional nature. So the human soul doesn't identify itself as a human soul because it identifies itself with the emotional nature or the physical nature because it is attached with them. And then it gains a little more consciousness and enters into the lower mental plane. And then when it gains a little more consciousness and expands and enters into the higher mental plane, at that level in the higher mental plane, the human soul identifies itself that yes, I am the human soul. I am not the physical body, nor the emotional body, nor the mind too. I am the human soul. I am using the mind, emotions and the body to express myself. So this particular understanding is experienced by the human soul. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any doubts, you could reach me. My email is reddysainandan@gmail.com. You can even log into our website initiaticschool.org. We provide online courses and we also provide workshops. Take care.